Keenan starts off this hour in Ames, Iowa. Hi, Keenan. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dave. How about you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Hey, I've heard you talk multiple times about being upfront about what's in your will while you're still alive, so it's not a surprise later.
Right.
Most commonly, when you talk about that, you're talking about, or you use an example talking about an older person with their adult kids and all that. My wife and I are in our early 30s. We have young children under 6. We just got our will set up about a year ago, and as part of that, we realized we have one side of the family with whom we're very comfortable leaving them in charge of things for our kids if we were to both die, and one side of our family in which we're not very comfortable with any of that. And I want to talk about it with the side of the family that is being cut out, per se. My wife does not, and we talked with the rest of, it's my family that we would be leaving them with. We talked with the rest of my family, and all of them said the same thing: don't do it. I'm looking for your thoughts. Is there anything else we should be considering with this? They basically thought it would be starting a fight that doesn't need to be started.
There's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Might as well do it while you're alive.
Yeah.
Because her family's a bunch of yahoos, man. And they're the ones that are going to take your family into court and try to, I'm going to get the kids. There'll be a hillbilly hoedown, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude, but I mean, do you want your relatives all drug into court by her crazy family?
Exactly, no.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else here just doesn't want to do conflict. That's all it is. But there's a conflict coming, and it's going to be a bigger one after you're dead.
Right, and we wouldn't be there to be a part of it and help.
Exactly.
Hold the middle ground, per
exactly.
se.
No, you got to remind everybody here, this is my money. Hello, this is my kids. The rest of you people don't get to have an opinion. Or if you have one, it doesn't matter. You don't get a vote in this.
Yeah.
And I'm being sarcastic and bombastic, but you wouldn't ever talk to your family, her family actually, that way. But, you know, I'm not going to be intimidated by their reaction about not doing the right thing. I'm just going to say, hey, we talked about it. This is who's going to be handling the kiddos.
What about, since it's my wife's family, I would assume I should probably not be the person to break the news, at least not the principal person to break the news, and my wife doesn't want to do it. Do we just keep talking about it between ourselves and hope we come around to that?
Well, I mean, your wife has to agree to do this before you do it. You're not going to, you're not going to violate that. That's an argument between you and your wife.
Right.
And the two of you have got to settle on that. She doesn't want to do it because she doesn't want to deal with the conflict.
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of toxicity on that side already with other life decisions we're making with getting out of debt and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, unless someone's ill, there's not an emergency.
Right.
But it's just bad practice to allow the intimidation of the toxicity to set the tone.
Yep.
And that's what's going on. And so, it may take a little while. And it might be if if she just opens her mouth and her mother opens her mouth at the same time, that automatically there's a fight. If that's the case, maybe you're the one that leads the conversation. If there's just a bad script between her and her mom and dad, for instance, okay? Siblings are even less of a concern, but it's her mom and dad. And so if there's just a bad script there, it might be that you're seen as the level-headed one from the outside. You might be the evil one from the outside. I don't know what you are.
I'm the evil one.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I'm the controlling husband that wants to make his wife sell everything so we can get out of debt. And it's like, no, we're 100% on board together with this. This is her thing,
well,
too,
I mean, you might just play that on out and go, I'm also the controlling husband that's already figured out our will, and the kids are going to the other side. Might as well just be, if you're going to be controlling, you might as well do it from the grave, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is such a hard thing. I'm poking around it, but we all have this stuff, or most people do in their family. Most people have crazy right up in their face. And so it's hard, but I really think that her parents, if they're that toxic, will give your parents or your brother and sister or whoever it is a hard time, and it might cost them a lot of legal fees.
Yeah, or just a whole lot of grudge that our kids would be getting a whole lot of under the table, under their breath talk type of thing.
They may get that anyway. They may
yeah.
get that anyway. You may not be able to stop that, but you know, the good news is that hopefully it never happens. That you guys,
right.
you know, you live until your kids are not minors and those kinds of things.
Right.
But you know, I think that's just a decision you and your wife have to make together. It's ill-advised to not bring everyone into the loop because the other person that feels shorted in the thing, especially people that are this toxic, have a tendency to go legal on you, and they could eat up everything, and because they feel righteous in their fight for your kids, you know.
Yeah.
They write this script out where everyone else is evil and they're the righteous ones, and that's where these people go to extremes. And so, I don't know. It's up to you. The more crazy it is, though, the more I think you ought to do it. So I think you and your wife just keep talking about it, though. And if your wife doesn't want to handle it and you want to just go ahead and be the bad guy, you can just be the kind bad guy and just go, guys, I don't really want to have this conversation, but I feel like I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's going on. And just so you know, and it's a quick thing, it's really not asking, we're not taking a vote here. I'm just kind of telling you what's going on. We've laid out our wills and everything. And should something happen to us, our wills are ironclad. Our lawyer says they cannot be broken. And here's what our wishes are, and here's what's going to happen with the kids. And hey, we love you guys, and we hope everything gets a little better with y'all, and that you can quit talking trash at us all the time. But if you can't, it's going to be up to you. I mean, but I just want to let you know the whole thing. And you could just have that conversation, but you don't want to do that without your wife being on board. But if you're already in the bad guy seat, I guess you can just take the seat and run with it. You know, it's just, man, some of these people. Some people's children. There you go. You know, it's unbelievable. Thanks for the call. I appreciate you joining us. Pick up the book Boundaries and give it a good read. Henry Cloud's famous life lessons book. For all of you that think you're crazy because your family is, Boundaries is a great book. It's a great book. Oh, my gosh. It's everywhere, y'all. I mean, hey, if you don't think there's crazy in your family, it's probably you. Most families got a little in it, right? There you go. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.